Carefree comes to mind. Without the worry. There was a response this morning to, it was a martial artist, and I had written a haiku that said something to the effect that a headless warrior has no fear of losing his head. And the implication there is sort of D. Harding's headlessness, and Jesus take no thought. In other words, be the doing, don't be the doer. Be totally involved in whatever, be totally integrated into whatever it is you're doing, and stop all the mental play-by-play and mental overlay of what I'm doing, because it divides the energy and the focus. But do you want to be famous?
Do I want to be famous?
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
That's what I just said.
Particularly, no.
Okay, neither do I. But do I have your permission to put this little conversation on the website?
Oh my goodness!
It has been great. I mean, it's.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I have lights flashing all over around here. This was profound. It really was. I got. I've heard. You just let it flow. You let it rip. It was.
If you want to, let's see what happens.
And there was absolutely no intentionality, and just at some point, my mind is saying, "This is really good stuff." She's putting out here.
Oh, okay. Well, yes. That would be fine. I may go listen to it until you take it down.
Now you are how should we say, a wonderful advocate and testament to Bill's sharing, Bill's point.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's ended up is. It's all about, for me, what it's ended up is to be all about freedom. I mean, a true freedom, not just, sometimes I use that word and I realize people are thinking it means you just go do anything you want, and that's not at all what I'm talking about. But it is a freedom in your, it's a deep, how do I describe this freedom? I should try to do that someday, because I use the word very sort of easily, and I realize people think it means something else. But it is the unbound, just a freedom from fear, I guess, is more of what it might be. A freedom to be this unbound spirit of love and like you said, an openness to everything and all that is. It's kind of there's a grace involved with it. I don't know. But I love the word freedom for me. I can use it for myself. But I don't know quite how to interpret it, because worldly-wise, it gets misunderstood, so I have to be careful with that word. But I love it. I love the freedom to be, and there again, in the regular, everyday world, to say the freedom to be myself, then people think it means you could be rude and nasty, and that's not yourself. Yourself is something so tender and gracious, and it sees the holiness of everything. It sees it immediately. There's not a gap between what is holy and what you are, and somehow everything you do is with that presence of oneness. It is the presence. It is the living presence, and that goes back to God. It's God as everything. God as this world we're living. I don't know. Anyway, you kind of get the idea.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah. What comes to mind is freedom to be absolutely as I am in spirit and truth, not as I think I am. That's where it gets lost.
It isn't who we became as Bill always calls it, the adult, the old man, and non-duality speaks of it all the time. That's what they're trying to understand, is the conceptual, time-based material I possessor of awareness, that unreal part of we seem to have to walk through in order to discover who we are not. And when we get through the other side of realizing who we're not, then that there is a freedom that isn't about that old man or the adulterer that usurps the presence and tries to live outside of it, which we can't do. We're always here. This is it. This is the presence. We are living it. Anyway.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
This gives me. I don't know if I had mentioned John Wheeler was when we were going through the issue over using that conversation he had with Charlie.
Right. So what happened?
He, in the interim, he said, well, a workaround would be, if we didn't get approval to do it, would be to have our own conversations where I would interview him, which I thought was, in that particular community, I probably respect him as the highest representative I've ever run across in terms of being able to present it in a sort of a soft and kind and gentle way. And my interface with him has been sort of neat, but what just came to mind is we ought to do our conversations. But this, we'll see how this one goes. But this was much greater than both of us, Sandy.
Oh, that's nice. All right. Well, yes. If there's anything, if we can do one together and actually kind of, intentionally create one rather than just, although.
Well, we could.
If there's it, that might be okay too. Yes, I think that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
The other thought is, and I like, me, I sort of like the free flow, because when I'm free flowing, I'm not here.
Right, exactly. If you start getting me to think that I might have to,
yeah.
I might clam up.
Yeah, well, that I was concerned when I sort of dropped the hint there in the middle. I was watching fairly closely, and it didn't seem to. It wasn't much of a bump in the road. You were still able to, continue to be Sandy, which is the whole deal anyway.
Right.
But we could do it in Bill context in terms of taking a chapter or going through something where I sort of we read it and I give my take and you give your take in a short thing, and then we sort of free flow after that.
That would be fun, Rich, because I love to do that with Bill's work. I do it with people who will write to me. I've been doing that for years because people will email me something, or call me. What does he mean by this, And for some reason, I have a way of explaining his work that people seem to, I can simplify it, I get it, It's like I can put it into terms that somehow they go, oh, wow, okay, I get it, thank you, And there is a simplicity that I can come from, I know, with Bill's work, where sometimes people do tell me he gets a little confusing for them, which I'm surprised, because I go, oh, he's the best, This is the top of the line. But for some reason, if I get a hold of it, I can retell it in a way that just brings it home. So that could be really fun, yeah.
Well, let's plan on that. The other thing is, I had a lady that basically says, I think you got a high teaching here, but in all honesty, it gives me some difficulty. Could you put it in terms for the average person, basically, which is what you can do. And one of the things I was going to tell her, and we got about 30 seconds to go on the tape, and I'll finish this really quick, was listen with your heart. Not your head. It gets very complex when he's explaining it to get you out of your head so you'll release it into your heart, as opposed to trying to really explain something.
Truly, and he always says that. Every other sentence, practically. Listen with your heart. Don't try to analyze this. He's just not doing an intellectual thing with that. But, if we could get it a little clearer for people and bring it back to this world, I would love to be able to do that, because that's where we're going to do the healing, is when we bring it to living